Today I'm continuing my reflection on language in the context of my thoughts about our current time and the term racist. I'm going to talk about a belief that I learned from neuro-linguistic programming that will make some people a little uncomfortable. If you truly want to communicate, you need to understand that words are defined by the hearer and not by you.
Distinctions for Life, helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference.
Welcome to Distinctions for Life, where I hope you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. I'm your host, Ron Davis. If I can do more to help you, go to my website at distinctionsforlife.tv. We want to say that words are defined by a dictionary. That is not how dictionaries work, which I talked about quite a bit in last week's episode. But the truth is, words are defined by the hearer. When we talk about lexigraphers or lexicographers, I said that they look at how a word was used to develop their definitions. And that is true. But one way they do this is to ask people what they think words mean. You see, a few years back, I went to a science fiction convention in London. The Oxford English Dictionary had people there asking attendees to define nerdy words. They gave you an index card with a single term on it, and they asked you to write on it what you thought the word meant. I wish I could remember the word that they gave me to define, but it would have been something like grok. Grok is a word out of a science fiction book written in 1961 that has become used in a number of non-geek spheres. But what they wanted to know was what we would think it meant if we heard it. That is the very academic way of understanding that words are defined by the hearer. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, was less concerned about the definition of being right and more if it caused the right reaction in the hearer. My definition of communication is getting a concept or idea from my head to yours. Often, this is because I believe that once you truly understand that idea, it will cause a positive change in your life. If I use a word thinking that it has one definition and you think it has another definition, that transfer will never happen. Accepting the belief that the hearer defines the meaning of the word is useful. It allows you, the speaker, to respond to reactions that aren't what you expected. You don't get mad because someone doesn't think that they are a racist if you use that word. You ask them what that means to them. Then you can talk about the idea that you are trying to convey until you find the words that will do the transfer. Another related NLP belief is the person with the most flexibility controls the system. This is why bratty kids often get what they want in a conflict with an adult. They will ask nicely. They will pout and cry. They will beg and plead. They will throw a fit. They are very flexible in their approach until an adult gives them what they want. When you give up control of the definition, you stop focusing on being right and start focusing on communicating. You can then change your behaviors, including your language, to get the outcome that you want. The same lack of flexibility, or more accurately, systemic lack of choices, is part of what systemic racism is. Our day-to-day activities give us choices about what to do and how to do it. But the truth is, for a lot of people of color, the systems limit their choices. They reduce their flexibility and therefore their control of the systems of our lives. We say they don't have the same opportunities, which means they don't have the same behavior choices that other people do. Often, we white people want to point to successful black people as examples that the system works. And they are successful, but they had to do it with less or harder choices and options than a white person would. Success is a struggle for everyone, but some people have more options than others. That can be because of birth or education or age, but it can be because of race and the system that you live in. A lot of people don't want to allow hearers to define the words because they feel ownership of those words. They also may feel if the hearer doesn't agree with their definition, they don't agree with the meaning they want to convey. In my racist argument, black people may feel that if a white person doesn't agree that they are a racist, they are denying the idea that they are unconsciously prejudiced and part of a system that does deny people their freedoms. Then they react to people based on that meaning, which may not be the best reaction. This is the reason that there is a lot of talk about having discussions about race. It is only there that we can make sure that we are transmitting ideas, not throwing out a tweet and then just blasting people who respond to it. Question of the day. How do you feel about letting the hearer define the words? Leave a comment below. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the emotions that are attached to words, and that is definitely related to the hearer defining the word. So you definitely want to get that, and if you do, you need to hit that subscribe button and you hit the bell next to it so you'll be notified as soon as it comes out. Thanks for watching today. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. This channel is all about helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. Until next time, I'm Ron Davis. 3 things I believe about language, Part 2, words are defined by the hearer. Today I'm continuing my reflection on, that was the right word. I did that from memory because my stupid thing did not advance.